You know that person who never chases attention, never posts for validation, never tries to be impressive, the one who stays quiet while everyone else is trying to be seen. Here is the psychology fact. Most people do not realize. People who do not care about being popular are not emotionally numb. They are psychologically different, and once you understand why, you will start seeing them everywhere. Society teaches you from the time you were small that being liked, being followed, being admired is how you prove your worth. Most people grow up needing attention to feel real, but some people grow up feeling almost nothing when they are ignored. They do not feel empty, they do not feel rejected, they do not even feel curious, they just feel neutral. Psychologists do not call this confidence, they call it low external validation dependency. It means their nervous system does not use other people's approval to regulate how they feel about themselves, and that changes everything. They are not cold, they are not detached, they are not antisocial. They are aware. They grew up noticing how fast attention disappears, how easily people change, how conditional love can feel. So their brain adapted. Instead of chasing validation, take me away. So they stopped performing, stopped proving, stopped begging to be chosen. Their sense of self comes from what they think, what they feel, what they know about themselves, not from who is watching. That is why they don't panic when they are ignored. They don't shrink when they are overlooked. They don't collapse when no one reacts. They already know who they are, and that changes how they move through the world. You do not stop caring about popularity because you are confident. You stop caring because at some point, being seen was not safe. For many people like this, visibility came with a cost. It meant being judged, being corrected, being laughed at, or being emotionally exposed. So your nervous system learned something powerful. If I stay low, I stay protected. If I do not stand out, I do not get hurt. If I do not need attention, no one can use it against me. That is not withdrawal. That is intelligence. That is your brain choosing stability over performance. So when you grow up, you do not crave crowds. You crave quiet. You do not seek applause. You seek peace. And the world mistakes that for weakness, but psychologically, it is independence. Most people think wanting attention is a personality trait. It is not. It is a nervous system response. For most humans, being ignored feels like danger, so their brain seeks likes, messages, laughter, validation, because attention tells their body, I am safe, I exist, I matter. But people who do not care about being popular have a different wiring. Their nervous system does not use other people to regulate their worth. They do not need a reaction to feel real. They do not need an audience to feel grounded. So when they walk into a room and no one looks at them, their body does not tense. It stays calm because their sense of self is not waiting for permission. This is why they do not perform. They do not post to be seen. They do not speak to be noticed. They already feel stable inside, and that is what makes them psychologically rare. People who don't care about being popular are not trying to be mysterious. They are regulated. Most people feel uncomfortable in silence because silence forces the brain to look inward. And when your inner world feels empty, you chase noise. You chase attention. You chase reactions. You chase validation. But people like this do not feel empty when things get quiet. Their thoughts are active. Their emotions are stable. Their identity does not disappear when nobody is watching. So they don't talk to fill space. They don't perform to be liked. They don't compete to be noticed. They speak when they mean something. And psychologically, that changes how everyone around them feels. Because humans are wired to lean toward grounded people. Someone who is not trying to prove their worth feels safe to be around. That is why these people often become the center of gravity in a room without ever asking for attention. They are not invisible, they are anchored. And when someone is anchored, they don't need applause to know they exist. You don't avoid being popular because you don't care. You avoid it because you learned that being seen is where people get hurt. So you built a life where you don't need applause to feel real. That's not weakness, that's psychological independence. But here's the part nobody tells you. When you stop needing attention, you also stop letting people know who you really are. And that's why people like you often feel invisible, even when you're in the room. If this hit, the next video explains why people with this trait struggle to feel chosen in relationships. Click it, you'll finally see the pattern.